Most lawyers report experiencing burnout at some point in their careers. But although some people report having recovered from burnout, a huge proportion of lawyers are experiencing ongoing burnout right now. And if you are one of those lawyers, stay tuned to learn about how you can address your burnout and recover. Welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Annie Little. I'm an ICF certified coach and a former lawyer. And I created this channel for lawyers who are looking for practical guidance on how to land, lead, and succeed in the legal profession and beyond. All right, so let's talk about how we're going to address your burnout so you can recover from burnout and emerge from the burnout fog. The first step is to talk to your boss. And I know your initial reaction is probably like, absolutely not, I will not be doing that. And I get it. So hear me out on this. I want you to be strategic about this. Most lawyers have more than one boss. So think about which one may be most receptive. Think about which one has the most control over the element of burnout that you want some relief on. The next thing is you're going to want to be specific. You don't want to go to your supervisor and just say, hey, I am stressed out and nothing more, or I am really burned out. Can you help me? They're going to be like, I don't know. What do you need help with? Or better yet, they're going to be like, have you tried that meditation webinar that we got for the firm? So you're going to want to be super specific with something like, I need help with my workload. I have too much and I'm not able to properly prioritize, properly manage any and all of the above. But get as specific as you can so that they know what it is you need addressed by them. Now, I know you probably already have an idea of how your boss might respond. That's probably why you haven't talked to them already. So you're going to want to go in with an open mind, but also realistic expectations. So like I said, you probably already have a sense about how they might respond, but allow yourself the possibility to be pleasantly surprised. For one thing, if you've never specifically asked your boss about this particular thing, you actually don't know how they'll respond. Another thing to consider, we're just going to bust out the empathy card here. A lot of partners that I work with are similarly burned out. So it is entirely possible that they are so caught up in their own burnout and just trying to survive that they may genuinely not realize just how much you're struggling and that there's something they can do to help you out. All right, so in addition to talking to your boss, if that feels like a safe option for you, let's talk about therapy. If you feel like you are currently experiencing burnout, get a therapist. And honestly, if you're a lawyer, you should probably have a therapist regardless of whether you're in burnout or not. And I know the process of finding a therapist who's going to work with you, that's a good fit, that takes your insurance, that's nearby, that does telehealth, whatever, it's super annoying. But it's one of those things where the return on investment is so very worth it. And if you're already in therapy, then you probably already have a pretty good understanding of how powerful it can be to understand where your contribution to burnout ends and the employer's responsibility begins. And you can see just how much greater their responsibility is than yours. And another way that you can come out of burnout and recover is to find a new job. Because lawyer burnout is caused by your employer, by your workplace, then the surest and fastest way to get out of that particular burnout is to find a new place to work. But I know, of course, finding a new job comes with its own set of issues and problems and hassles. So when I say it's the quickest and easiest way out of burnout, of course, I'm speaking relatively. I know how much a job search can add to your plate. And there's also this fear that you're going to end up in another job that's just going to cause the same type of burnout. So there is a way to go about your job search that can help you to identify the conditions that may lead to burnout. so that you don't end up in a similar situation. And one of the most important things I do with the lawyers I work with is to help them find and land a job that will not lead to burnout. So while searching for a job that's not going to lead you back to the cycle of burnout requires an intentional approach, it doesn't necessarily add additional work to the job search itself. If you want to see what that intentional approach looks like, I want you to check out my free guide, Break Free from Lawyer Burnout. It's based on the work that I've done with hundreds of lawyers to help them find and land a burnout-free job. I've put a link in the description below so you can download that free guide, and I hope that you find it just as useful as all of my past clients have.